Good evening and welcome to Macclesfield Town Council meeting on Monday the 29th of June. Before going into the meeting proper, I just have a few words to say. This will be my last council business meeting as the Mayor, as later in the agenda we will be electing the new Mayor and Deputy Mayor for 2021. But my place for speeches will be at the mayor making, which will be at a future date. My main focus here is to thank our town clerk, Pete Turner. This is also his last council meeting, as he will be leaving us tomorrow to take up a new position as clerk at Crewe Town Council. Pete has served our council well since its inception in May 2015. He has shown a great ability for advising and enabling the councillors to fulfil their ambitions for the town. He's also been first rate at motivating the staff and recognising their individual talents and qualities. Pete has been a tremendous asset to Macclesfield Town Council, and I, for one, will miss him. He's become a good friend over the years, and I wish you all the best for your future, Pete. And I want to give you a clap.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, now that I've suitably embarrassed you, we'll now move on to the business. So, do we have any apologies for absence?
No, we have a full meeting, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest, councillors? No. Okay. I believe that we have no people wishing to use our public speaking section, so we can move straight through that. Thank you. So then we come to item 3, which is the minutes of the meeting of full council on the 15th of June. Do I have a proposer for those minutes? Yes, David Edwards, yes. And a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Wilcock. So all those in favour, please show.
I don't think.
Thank you. Councillor Harewood, I believe you would be abstaining. You weren't present at the meeting. Thank you. And I think that's everyone voting. Thank you.
Thanks for remembering.
Okay. Item 4, matters arising from the minutes. I don't believe there are any. It's none been notified. Thank you. So now we come on to item 5, which is the co-option for Western Ivy Ward, for a councillor for Western Ivy Ward. So the candidates will be called to speak in order, and the speaking order is Adam Schofield to speak first, Michael Hutchinson to speak second, and third will be David Mayer. You each have a maximum of 5 minutes, as you already are aware, and with a minute to go, Pete will put his signal up for you. And you will then, after that final minute, you will be cut off. Now, I hope none of you will end up being cut off in your prime. I'm sure you will all have your speeches well timed and be able to get all your information to us within your allotted time. So, can I call Adam Schofield, please, to give your piece to the councillors?
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, Councillors, Town Clerk. Firstly, can I just echo what Councillor Jackson MB said about the Town Clerk, Pete? Very good job. Very well. You'll be missed, Pete. Good looking crew. Thank you. As you know, I've been previously served the Town Council, working very tirelessly for the Western Ivy Ward between 2015 to 2019. And I'm sure Councillor Jackson MBE, Councillor Harewood Jones MBE and Councillor Puttick could vouch for my hard work and determination as my fellow councillors at the time. I've always been very keen to work as a team at the Town Council, far away from politics as possible, and Councillor Puttick and myself worked very hard together on the communications team for the Town Council. I think we brought some great initiative to the council, and very enjoyable to work with Neil. I'm passionately fierce about what I believe in, and I always voted with integrity and a firm belief I was voting for those I represented. Throughout the last 2 years of my time on council, during my deputy mayor and a mayor position, I formed a great link with the Prince's Trust, which is based on the Western Ivy ward at the fire station. I dropped into their various 12-week sessions every week to visit the recruits, to encourage them, to tell them that the town council was actively watching them, was keen on their development, and that they were part of Macclesfield community and we were proud of their achievements. I also, with Councillor Harewood, served on the Western Partnership Committee. That was on the Western Estate, where we developed initiatives, events, programmes, just to try and help those on the estate and to maybe help those with a bit more socially isolated on the ward. I do hope that's still going on, but I'm not sure now Tim has left the church. As I said, I served mayor in 2018, and I used this time greatly to create links for the independent business community, local charities, and I would very much like the opportunity to carry on and build on this. I also took much time to visit many of the town's volunteers, and I hosted the first big thank you event where 90 volunteers from all over the town were nominated and invited to come to the town hall for afternoon tea, and I was able to pass on my warm thanks to them and the councils as well for all the hard work they do in our community. As I said then, most of us never see the work they do, but we would certainly notice it if they all stopped. So I would really like to see the council to continue to recognise the volunteers on a very regular basis, really. Work-wise, I'm a self-employed sole trader business owner, so I've got the time to devote to the town council. I don't have normal working hours, I don't work shifts. I can still give as much dedication as I did during my 4 years previous. As a co-opted councillor, I would hit the ground running. I don't need guidance or training, especially as a new town clerk coming on board and still one councillor down. I would be a great fit to the current council. Finally, I sincerely hope that party politics isn't involved in tonight's decision for the co-option. It's one of those things that may or may not be the case, but I can honestly say that throughout my time on council, I voted for what I thought was best for myself and for those I represented, and that's all I could ask of myself. And that's all I shall ask of you as representatives of Macclesfield. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam, for that. So you managed to get in well within your time, so that's well done for that. Okay, so next we call on Michael Hutchison.
Hello, everybody. I lived in Macclesfield for 37 years and worked in Macclesfield as a secondary school teacher for 35 years, retiring in the summer of 2018. My career has involved working with people, identifying blockers to progress, finding solutions and creating action plans to move people forward. I'm a big fan of sport, particularly football and cycling. I'm a supporter of Aston Villa, which is a tough job, which has helped me to develop the strength, resilience and optimism to apply for this role on the town council. I believe that you will see in me understanding, fairness, honesty, kindness and courtesy. I spent 21 years at Valley School as head of year. I was responsible for managing a team of form tutors, delivering pastoral care for 240 students. I'm experienced in building strong relationships and engaging with people. I was promoted to the position of head of science and co-opted onto the senior leadership team at Titherington School, where I served for another 14 years. In my role, I was responsible for both academic performance and behaviour management of students. I met regularly with students and parents to solve problems, find solutions and encourage progress. I worked with outside agencies when students needed additional support and guidance. I've developed skills valuable in this role as a town councillor. After my retirement, I became actively involved in local politics, standing for the position on Cheshire East Council in Bollington. I really enjoyed the campaign and being involved with the Macclesfield Labour Party. Perhaps most importantly, I learned a great deal by talking to residents on the doorstep and taking on board both their concerns and ideas of what works well in the community. Other community involvement involves raising significant amounts of money for the Mast Appeal through sponsorship of my 3 Peaks Challenge and fundraising for East Cheshire Hospice with children in my form. I'm still actively involved in sport. I'm a member of the Macclesfield Wheelers Cycling Club. I featured in the club video promoting Macclesfield as an area for sport. I also ran a junior football team for several years. I appreciate the massive challenge presented by COVID-19, yet the Town Council are making a significant difference in creating greater community focus, which we know improves health and well-being. In addition to grants to community organisations, Town councillors have been involved in both practical and virtual support to residents. The strategy developed by the council is forward-thinking and ambitious. The town rangers are making the town look pleasant and are clearly doing a good job. I've been impressed with the work of staff that I've seen whilst following recent meetings on the YouTube channel. I spent 9 years living in this ward. By joining the team, working closely with Ailif and Nick Mannion, I can make a difference to people's lives. I can commit time to look after the needs of residents, community groups and local businesses. I can build strong relationships, encouraging people to make their views known. The tartan rug, which I have a copy here, is a good indicator of the key issues in the ward. Although slightly out of date, it does show that the ward has considerable socio-economic variations over very short distances. There are major issues around poverty, health and mortality, where parts of the ward, specifically the Western Estate, fall into the worst 20% in England. Poverty and low incomes are especially worrying post-COVID. We need take-up work with key partners. There are actions that need to be promoted and encouraged, such as cutting smoking and drinking rates, especially amongst women. Also, a large concentration of over 55s live alone. Social isolation is a major issue. I would like to explore initiatives and promote events to overcome isolation and develop greater community cohesion and participation. Another issue highlighted by residents include increased traffic volume and speeds. Perhaps a 20 is plenty approach could be explored with some aesthetic changes such as wildflower areas on estate roads and verges. I'm authentic in my commitment to improve services for the people of the town and the ward as part of this team. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for that. And again, well within your allotted time, so well done there.
Thank you.
So thirdly, we have David Mayers. David, if you would like to give us your piece to the councillors. Thank you. Oh, can you unmute? We've missed the beginning of it there. Thank you. If you can start again, David. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you, councillors, and thanks also to Michael and to Adam for those excellent presentations. I hope you've all got my application form for this post, for this role, so I won't be reading that out. A brief introduction, first of all, to me. I've lived in Macclesfield for 40 years. I was a maths teacher, spent most of my career at Macclesfield College, where I was I led a team of teachers and was the branch secretary of the University and Colleges Union. I'm married with 2 children who both attended local schools. I'm a Christian, member of St Michael's Church, and have been involved in many other aspects of the life of the town. I've run the scout troop, youth group, been to Wembley twice to follow Macclesfield town, and many other connections as well. I've had many positive experiences of working with the town council through their involvement in and support of the night shelter, Mactastic, where I'm a member of the core team, the Allotment Society, and St Michael's Church, amongst others. I'm a great believer in local democracy. As most of you will know, I stood as a Green candidate in the last local elections. and I believe the town council has a vital role in engaging the people of Macclesfield in politics, which is very difficult at the moment. I think politics often has a bad name and a bad reputation. I have lots of ideas, some of which I'll share with you in a few moments. Lots of energy, certain amount of time, and I think it's time for me to give back to the town, back to the community. And one way to do that is to be on the town council. I was asked by the town clerk to do two things this evening. One was to say why I want to be a part of the town council, and I think I've done that already. The other was why I'm the most explain why I'm the most suitable candidate. Well, I think that's very difficult. That's for you to decide. It looks to me as though you've certainly got two very good candidates, maybe three. So I'd like just to share with you a vision I have for the town. The town, like most areas of the country, is going through a very tough time at the moment. How on earth do you recover after this disastrous pandemic? How do you revive the town centre economy and at the same time retain some of the freedoms which we've all enjoyed, or most of us have enjoyed, in the last 2 or 3 months? I firmly believe that the town must move to becoming more sustainable and less dependent on old technologies, like the motor car. This would mean developing an integrated public transport system, some investment in sustainable energy, in active travel, and we're already seeing some of that in the road closures in the town centre. Investing in insulation of all homes and making sure all new homes are built to the highest possible standards. Of course, much of that is in the hands of Cheshire East, but the town council can be and should be increasingly involved in facilitating these initiatives. Michael's already mentioned 20 is plenty, and I'd like to thank the town council's support of that initiative. I think it's has a key role in reclaiming our streets, especially for the older and perhaps the younger and poorer members of the community, creating better social cohesion, reducing accidents and their severity, and encouraging more active travel. If I was selected as your councillor, as a member, no point in not being ambitious. I would like the town council to facilitate perhaps providing more electric vehicle charging points, maybe provide the ranger with an electric vehicle, perhaps putting solar panels on the town hall, initiating things like a renewable energy cooperative, and possibly identifying and publicising eco-friendly homes in the town for people to model their own homes. The town council, I would like to see perhaps having subgroups or committees to work on integrated transport and the development of more sustainable jobs, perhaps working with the college, where I do have a lot of contacts. In conclusion, I mean, I think town council is doing a great job in very difficult circumstances with very limited resources. The entertainment.
Thank you, David. I'm afraid you didn't quite make it within the 5 minutes, and Pete had to cut you off. He did give you the warning, so you did have the warning there, but we certainly got the full gist of where your ideas and where you're coming from and your ethos. So thank you for that. So now, I believe this is the point where you may well now cease being part of the meeting, and the councillors will now go to moving to the vote. Do I have a mover for that, to go to the vote, please? Yes, Councillor Wilson.
Formally move we proceed to the vote, Mayor.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Roberts. Thank you. So we'll now move to the vote. We'll all have a ballot presented to us, and then if you will please make your vote known on that, and then we will get the result from Pete.
Okay, if you can just bear with me, I'm using technology that I've never had to use properly before. So in a moment, you'll see the ballot appear in front of you with the 3 candidates. Please, in a timely manner, select your preferred candidates. The ballot process is anonymous, and I will share the results when I receive 10 ballots. If I don't receive 10 ballots quickly, I will ask to check. And then if I don't receive 10 ballots, I will close the ballot and share the result. Okay, here we go. Okay, I've received 10 ballots. That's a complete complement. We have a clear majority for one candidate, so we have a co-optee, and I will share those results with you, which shows that Michael Hutchison is a successful candidate and therefore is duly co-opted as the West and Ivy candidate for Macclesfield Town Council ward. There we are. Now then, Michael has the option to rejoin the meeting as an observer, because he hasn't signed the acceptance of office as yet. That's his choice, and we can join him, take an active part in the meeting until he signs that acceptance of office.
Thank you. So is he returning to the meeting? You're still on mute.
Sorry, he hasn't requested it yet, but there's a delay on YouTube, so I'll await. If he puts a request in, I'll allow him to join at the point he puts a request in, if he does.
Okay, so well, at that point then we can move on to item 6. Item 6 is the appointment to the post of town clerk, and this is the recommendation from the personnel committee for us to appoint the successful candidate from the interview panel, and the successful candidate was Laura Smith, and I believe Fiona, as chairman of personnel, is going to propose this.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, it gives me great pleasure as Chair of Personnel to call on the Council to approve the appointment to the post of Town Clerk, Laura Smith.
Thank you. And do I have a seconder for that? Thank you. Yes, Councillor Bennett Wake. So
yeah, I second that, and she was brilliant.
yes, thank you. Okay, so all those in favour, please show. That's unanimous. Thank you very much. So now we move on to item 7, which is member champions. And this is to look at our champion for the town centre and regeneration. So do I have any proposals? Sarah, yes. Councillor Bennett Wake.
Can I propose Councillor Fiona Wilson? She's got excellent past experience working with shop worker union. She's done lots of research in this area, and I think she'd make an excellent champion for the town council.
Thank you. And I'd like to second that, please, if you can register me for seconding that proposal. So all those in favour, please show. Again, that's unanimous. Thank you. So congratulations, Councillor Wilson. We're expecting great things from you. Okay then, so we now move on to item 8, which is the election of the mayor and deputy mayor for next year, for the year 2021, this coming year. The first election will be for the mayor, and do I have a proposer? Thank you, Councillor Wilson.
Sorry. Yes, I'm delighted to nominate Sarah Bennett-Waite to be our mayor for the next civic year.
Thank you. And do I have a seconder, please? Yes, Councillor Puttick. Thank you. You wish to second. So we move straight to the vote. All those in favour? Thank you. That's unanimous. And
Sorry, one abstention, which was Sarah for
Sarah,
humility.
yeah. Sarah, you could have voted for yourself, Sarah.
I didn't realise I'm too modest.
I know. Okay, right, well, thank you. So then we move on to 8.2, which is the election of the deputy mayor for 2021. Do I have a proposal for this position? Yes, Councillor Roberts.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to propose Councillor David Edwards for the role of Deputy Mayor for the coming 2020-21 year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And do we have a seconder for David? Sarah, yes. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah. So we'll move to the vote on that. So all those in favour, please show. Thank you. That's everyone. I know you're not voting for yourself, Councillor Edwards, so.
I'm equally modest.
Yeah, absolutely. So unanimous with the exception of. Thank you. Okay, so that's all correct then, dealt with. Thank you very much for that. So item 9 is correspondence. I don't believe we have any. And so that just leaves me to come to item 10, the date, time and place of the next meeting, which is the 28th of September 2020 at 7 o'clock. Format and venue yet to be confirmed.
8th of September.
Dependent on obviously the COVID restrictions, if they're still in place. So 28th of September 2020, 7 p.m. And that concludes the meeting. So thank you, everybody. And we obviously look forward at our next meeting to invite our new councillor, who's been Michael, who's been co-opted, and we look forward to meeting him at the next meeting. And as soon as our new clerk, Laura Smith, is able to join us, which will be early August, I believe, due to obviously work commitments and so on. She has to serve a notice. She'll be with us in August, and we look forward to welcoming her to the council. So here concludes the meeting, and thank you everybody for attending and for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.